suck a big fucking dick.
No offense, David Jaffe, but that's bullshit.
Indeed. Hey, now too much music, not enough talking. All right, folks and Filettis, welcome to the show. Why are you wearing your shirt from yesterday? I'm not. But even if I was, people... Welcome to, what is this? Jaffe Speaks. Welcome to the 3rd of March. What are you talking about? How often do you guys wear sweatshirts before... You can't hear me? What do you mean you can't hear me? Yeah, I believe you can. I think you're lying. Oh, is the volume low? Can you guys hear me at all? I mean, how often... How often do you guys wash your fucking sweatshirts, man? I mean, seriously, not messing around, not joking with you, but I wear a sweatshirt like 3 or 4 times, and then I wash it. What you guys don't do that? The mix should be fixed now. Let me know if it's not, but I think it should be fine now. But welcome. I'm still quiet. You're kidding me. I just pumped it up. You're telling me you cannot hear me that well. Really? Yeah, it should be much better now. Is it better? Okay, fixed. Okay. Yeah, no, I wear my sweatshirts about 3 times before I wash them. And this just one came out of the wash today. You wear it once, you buy a new shirt. Sure, I understand. Welcome to the show, my delightful delinquents. It's nice to see you. Let me just tell K-Nubs right now. He says Jaffe goes over and works with some of the locale folks and comes back and he's got show goals. Yeah, because, but I don't just have some goals that you're not going to love. I'm going to tell you something. The show goal today, if we get 50 subs today, and we may not, it's okay, but if you want a sub, if you've been considering it, I wouldn't not consider it, because next week, by the way, Colin Moriarty is coming on the show only for Cult Calypso members and higher. And we are going to do our first of many Lunch with Jaffes that contain a guest, which means usually we have anywhere from 8 to 12 people there, plus me and then Colin, which means if you've ever wanted to have a really, not intimate, but, a very, if you ever wanted to ask him specific questions and shit like that, then that's the show to go to. So consider membership like good Sir Mutant Mo has just done. Mutant Mo's been a member forever, but he has now stepped up and said, I would like to join again, sir. I would like to sign up for another tour of duty. And you, sir, are our number 1 out of 50. We're only 49 away, boys. Let's see if we can make it there. All right. What size shirt do I wear? If you're talking about these kind of shirts, sweatshirts, I like extra large because I like them to be really, frankly, I'm fat and I like them to be really big. So extra large, whatever. Okay. We got to focus, boys. We got to focus. Today's been a hard day to get Papa Jaffe up and about. But what I was going to say, though, the show goal today is, if you're a Twisted Metal fan, you probably already know that Twisted Metal 2012, each character originally had 3 endings, depending on if you beat it on medium, hard, or easy. And we filmed all 3, and you can kind of find a lot of them on the net. But what ended up happening was we just didn't have the time to execute after the live shoot what we wanted. And so we ended up kind of shipping with what we shipped with, which I still thought was pretty good. However, what this show goal is, and good Sir Jake DeWitt, who is Moneybags McGee here, which I appreciate, Jakey DeWitt, has jumped in and given 5 memberships. He's kicking us up to 6. Now you might ask, well, Jaffe, why is Jake DeWitt so interested in this? Well, because what you guys are going to see is I have put together, now we're up to 5, 6. Thanks, fellas. Thanks, Jake. Thanks, Mutant Mo. I've put together the original story I was going to tell with Mr. Grimm. And when I was doing auditions for the live actor for Mr. Grimm, this was actually, I don't have the dialogue anymore, but this was the performance that I had them reading, this script. So I put together like a little 2-minute in movie using AI of what that story would have been. So if you want to see it, we got to get ourselves up to 50 members. That's how we pay the bills, folks. These sex workers ain't free. But still, thank you for being here. We're going to talk video game news today a little bit. We're going to talk some kind of geeky news. We're going to talk politics and just shoot the shit. If you want to call into the show, you can put yourself in the call-in waiting room in the Discord, and I'll bring you on when the time is right. Okay. So let's talk about Expedition 33. Now, I was corrected. I was under the impression, maybe because it had been marbled into the last Xbox showcase that had Doom and Avowed and something else. And I thought, oh, this is another first party. It's not. Frosty in our Discord explained to me that it wasn't, and he's right. It's published. It's published by Kepler Interactive. It is coming out for PlayStation and Xbox, and I assume PC, same day in April. However, it will be a day one Game Pass title. So once again, Game Pass, whether you're playing on the PC, whether you're playing on your Xbox, once again, these guys are really giving you great value. You don't need to hear me talk about it. What you do need to hear me talk about is today, a lot of the previews have been coming out. I just want to show you and read you some of the choice selects of what people have been saying, because I really, I saw the Xbox showcase and I thought this looked good. And I was like, all right, cool. I'll give that a play. Why not? It's on Game Pass. And it seemed interesting, but I didn't seem to think, or I wasn't left with the impression that this was going to be maybe a Game of the Year contender, which is now kind of suddenly that's where my head's at, right? But before I speak about that, we have good sir Brian 31. Now, Brian 31 is a bit of a strange bird. He's joined the Diet Soda Soldiers. He originally came in here as a spy for one of those right-wing, nasty grifters that wanted to steal my secret sauce for the everlasting gobstopper. But then he has decided, holy shit, Jaffe in this community, they're good eggs and I want to be part of it. And not only that, I want to drag some people in here with me. Thank you, Brian31, for 5 gifteds and 1 sub for yourself. That means a great deal, sir. Thank you very much. We're going to be doing a pot and popcorn movie for all Diet Soda Soldiers coming up in the next week. I hope to see you and your gifted subs there. Brian31, thank you, buddy. You get a song. There once was a man named Brian. He wasn't a lot of fun. His wife left him, his children cried. He threw himself in the sun. His molecules dissipated and created a strange but fun little version of Brian called Brian31. He's only 31 inches. Thank you, Brian, for that. Let's tally it up. We're up to 12 out of 50. We may actually get to watch this movie today. We may actually get to learn the fate of Mr. Grimm. The secret fate. That's what we should call it. The secret fate of Mr. Grimm. Thank you, Brian. Very generous, buddy. Serious. No joking. All right. Okay. Oh, shit. Carlos says I started playing Lies of P a day before it was announced it's leaving Game Pass. Oh, great game. Worth your ducats if you just want to buy it. It's so good. Brandon says, Jaffe, did you see what happened at Elimination Chamber? I'm watching it slowly. So I watched the women's match and I thought it was great. The women's Elimination Chamber, I thought that was just fucking fantastic. And I don't know if you guys didn't see, and if you don't follow the wrestling, don't worry, I'll fill you in on this. There's a very famous, popular wrestler named Bianca Belair. And her big signature, she's got this massive ponytail. It must be about 6 feet long. And she swirls it kind of like in Defiance, but she also hits people with it, right? So you got this woman, real sexy lady, Liv Morgan, climbing up on the cage. And at one point, she takes her hair and she whips it, and it smacks Liv Morgan in the back. And I don't know if the WWE knew that was coming and put in a sound effect, or that was the real sound effect, but that sounded like a fucking Django Unchained whipping scene. It was, oh my God. And then she was bleeding. The woman was fucking bleeding. So I watched that. I watched the women's tag team, which I thought was really, really good, but I haven't gotten to the men's stuff. I'm about to start the Kevin Owens and McIntyre battle, but I did absolutely hear that the Elimination Chamber for the men with The Rock, and I know what happened already. So I'm very much looking forward to watching it tonight or tomorrow. Okay. Okay. So yeah, we're talking Father Alex all about Expedition 33. Now, let me show you this. Hey, that's not that. This is what we want, boys and ladies. Yeah, the previews have been hitting. This is what German Strands has to say. This is covers PlayStation. Insane visuals, very good performance, outstanding acting, might be the best RPG world map out there. Exploration, shortcuts, hidden bosses, design, soundtrack. You can camp wherever you want. I mean, he just goes into it. Fast travel, new weapons, look different. Combat is super fun. If my play session, he says, is any indication of the whole game, oh boy, we are in for a treat. Any RPG fan who doesn't already have the game on their most wanted list should do so immediately, because something very special arrives next month. And again, this is turn-based, right? This is not an action RPG. So then we keep going. We have hands-on preview. Takes inspiration from JRP greats like Final Fantasy X, a visual feast. Innovative combat that adds a twist to traditional battle system with quick time prompts, although I would like to say that that's been done. I don't know how innovative that is, but I love that when they do that. You'd never know this was their first game. Now it has my undivided attention, says IGN. I didn't want to be done with it, says RPG Fan. Environment's visually stunning. Coming April 4th, PS5, PC, Xbox Day 1 Game Pass. Okay. I'd like to watch just a little bit while we talk. Whoa, let me turn it down. Let's bring up some of the combat so we can get an idea. But I think this looks fucking great. K-Nubs says, I love when Jaffe talks good old wrestling. Buddy, let me tell you something. If you watched the Elimination Chamber this weekend, look at that. What was cool is they showed Elimination Chamber in Los Angeles on that big dome thing I was talking about last week. I am definitely going down there to watch WrestleMania. Tickets are only $11. So yeah, no, I love the wrestling. K-Nubs, thank you for gifting a membership to JTA Creations. Thank you, buddy. Very, very, very much. Game Pass is absolutely cooking. Fanto says it's not a AAA price either. So how much does this cost then? Look at this. Oh, it looks so cool. And is this the game? Correct me if I'm wrong. This is the game where, like, every year, it's almost like Logan's Run. Like, every year, a certain age group dies, so they have to kill everybody who's 33 and then 32. Isn't that kind of the story of what this is? Let me kick our members up. We are at 13 out of 50. Come on, boys. We all have to know that Mr. Grimm's story demands to be told. We are at 13 out of 50. We could get there, boys. We could get there. I've barely played Avowed because I'm playing so many things, but here's my plan. We're going to talk about Assassin's Creed because they dropped a bunch of stuff in a second. My goal is I'm going to finish Dragon Age in the next 4 days, and I'm going to clear off a lot of small things so I can be ready for Assassin's Creed. But I also have not played Avowed yet other than for a few minutes. So I got to figure out, but I think I'll play Assassin's Creed. Okay. So Morgan says, yes, in this game, once a year, a group is picked to die. Right. Fascinating. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Anyone older than the age in that society keeps getting young. Wait, I think anyone older than that age dies. So society keeps getting younger. Okay. Valo, this is called Expedition 33 that comes out next month. Day 1 Game Pass, PS4, PS5. The previews have come out today. And let me ask this. Morgan's here. She is kind of our resident Japanese RPG fan. Not just Japanese, but certainly she specializes in that. Do you look at this? Because I don't think this is Japanese born. Do you look at this, Morgan, and you go, you feel good about this? Like you're going, this actually could be special? Or when you apply it through your very critical, which I get, your very critical filter, do you say, what is your take on that? K-Nub says, I can't stop playing Kingdom Deliverance. It's overtaken all my free time. I get it. Oh, I fucking get it. Yeah, Morgan says there's no one older than that age. It's been going on for 33 years, and now we're at age 33. It's not that they have to kill. They die because the painter just wills it into the world. Okay, gotcha. Okay, it's going to be interesting. Oh, yeah, you're fucked, MK Ness. He says he turns 33 tomorrow. He feels a kinship. No collector's edition for Xbox, which is funny. PS5 wins. So wait, Eddie, the PS5 has a collector's edition, but the Xbox one doesn't? Bukaki, it's turn-based combat. When you're saying the combat looks kind of ass, in what way? Like, I mean, you are aware it's turn-based. You mean like the battle system looks like ass, or you mean the execution of the animations look like ass? Expedition 33 is already on Steam Special, meaning the price. I played Twisted Towers. Anthony says, have you heard of Twisted Towers? Yeah, I think the game's out. I played the demo. It is very much like BioShock set in Disneyland / Tower of Terror at California Adventure. It's pretty cool. Morgan says she thinks this looks fantastic. It appears to be doing what Square Enix ought to have done with Final Fantasy. Regardless of the combat design, this is the JRPG I've been waiting for years. Okay, cool. Oh, Bukaki says it just doesn't look interesting. Well, one of the things they said about this combat was it does have like, do they call it quick time events or battle prompts or something? Which again, they're not the first to do it. But I don't really see any of that reflected here, but okay. So if you want to get it on Steam, it's 10% off. Okay. All right. Let's see what else. This is going to be another one of those bangers like Baldur's Gate. Let's see who else. I want to see a couple of other people who've played it. Just see if there's. IGN says it grabbed us by the throat from the jump, didn't let go for a single second of the 3.5 hour demo. I love it when a demo kicks off strong. The RPG might be something really special. Katie Sanchez from who is she? I've heard her before. Editor-in-chief of But Why Though PC and podcaster. It's gorgeous, dynamic combat. Ultimately, it's amazing to see so much ambition pay off and be executed this well. Add it to your list. Yeah, RPG site. The debut title from the developer Sandfall Interactive has the potential to be the standout RPG of 2025. Let's look up Sandfall. I know Kepler published it. Sandfall Interactive. Let's see where do they live? Are they? I think they're French, actually. Oui, oui. Yeah, these are all French folks. Okay. We should ask Vera Dark. Yeah. Oh, right. Let me get back to that. Stephen Hawkins, thank you very much for that super chat, buddy. I appreciate it very much. Anyway, can we get Vera Dark on the show? If she wants to come on the show, I mean, I get the sense she doesn't. Why do you want her opinion so much, Stephen? Because you asked it again. You said we should ask Vera Dark on her opinions, have her on the show. What's your thinking there? What's the point? I'm not opposed to it if she wants to come on, but okay. Let's keep moving. Oh, we have to check in with Vera to see if it's dark or woke or not. Yeah. If the turn-based timing on the left of the screen is anything like Final Fantasy X, then holy shit. Okay. Jaffe, can you get a WWE woman superstar on the show? I don't think so. If you guys remember, there was a time where a lot of the WWE people were streaming, and then, what's his face? Vince McMahon locked all that shit down. And then I think maybe it's been opened back up. I would love to get Asuka on. That would be amazing. I felt like a little fucking giddy fanboy when she liked a comment I did about wrestling. That made me so happy. But then something happened. I don't know if you guys saw the thing where some I don't know if it's a stalker or somebody just got creepy with her, like wanting to romance her or something. And now she's always just like, look, if you go to her Twitter, she's like, I do not approach me with friendship or romance. That's not what I'm here for. Like, she has no interest in any of that shit, so I don't know what happened to her, but I would be curious. All right. Assassin's Creed. I think Anthony told me that he knew a couple of people that had reviewed this game already and had played it to the end in the industry. And he said they were all very, very positive on it. So the more I see, the more excited I get. It was me, Bukaki. I don't know if it's actually going to deliver. And the last time I played an AC game in any meaningful way for a very long time was Black Flag. So a lot of this stuff may be like, standard. So let me know if you're bored and we'll move on. But they put out a new deep dive today into the game. It comes out on the 20th. So we're 17 days away. I will be getting whatever, the earliest I can play it, I will be playing it because I'm excited for it. But they dived into a lot of the progression loop details today. And with that, of course, came new videos, okay? Eddie T says, I don't think it's going to sell well because of all the drama around it. I don't really think that drama has sustained. I don't hear anybody talking about it all that much. But, Fanto says he's predicting a 73 on Metacritic. If that ends up being the case, then I would agree with Eddie. It's not going to sell. But it looks pretty good. Why are you predicting a 73? But they talked today about, each character has, some of this is basic, but I want to show you the videos. But each character has multiple mastery trees, unique for each of them. They're tied to weapons. It's the same. You upgrade your character. You can upgrade your weapons. You can get things called perks. You can put things into slots that give you certain abilities. Nothing in here you've never heard of, I don't think. But it does look really cool, though. So let's check out. This is This is her investing, I think, in some mastery points, basically. Let's see what happens. Oh, right. Okay, right. So she can dive down and do an assassination. But if she has leveled her character up, you'll see what happens. So this first example is her diving down. Let me make my screen smaller. It's her diving down and taking somebody out, and then you'll see what she does with her experience to do a better job next time. All right, so that was it. But now, if she's achieved enough, she can go into Assassin, and she can pay for or upgrade to double air assassination. And then you get this.
Hey.
Right? So it's interesting. Blackjack says this is the same Assassin's Creed we've been playing for 10 years. Somebody tell me if he's right on that. Because when I read all of this, either they're just lying and they make it sound really good to somebody who hasn't played an AC game seriously since Black Flag, or not. It says, let me show you this. This is, you can put different slots into each weapon, basically. So each weapon can get, well, just watch it and let's watch the whole thing. There's like 6 videos. Then tell me if it's the same thing. Then tell me if it's, I'm not saying upgrading your character is anything new. Oh my God, you guys, just wait. Okay. So the double assassination is not new. I got it. I'm down. Relax. What I'm saying is they're explaining how the systems work, and they were using that as an example. But let's continue. Okay, so this is you can have, each weapon has 2 slots, and this is showing that. Okay, here we go. Okay, so in this, she now added a new ability to something called the Tanto. You can throw it, then dash forward to stab the target and make them vulnerable, dealing 40% ability damage with each strike. So what I want to know after we go through these is, when you look at this and then you think about Ghost of Yoti or Yote or whatever, I'm curious about, do you think these guys have done enough to protect themselves from when they drop their first trailer, and are they going to be, this game's going to seem like a deeper game? But let's watch this attack. Now, I don't think that looks super unique. It does look fun. The more you explore, the more you can build up your knowledge. You can do things like meditation, praying in shrines, things that build up the characters' minds instead of just their abilities. But that will then let you upgrade other parts. So in this case, let's see what she does. Oh, this is her just increasing her knowledge. Okay. Right, so it's basically just showing if you explore, if you move around the world, you'll have a good chance to get the ability to level up more, which that's obviously very typical. Now that's how you get knowledge points. And now she can do more stuff. Okay. And then this doubles. So after you get to the 6th rank of knowledge, you basically get a brand new knowledge tree. So it's basically trying to convince you that there's a lot of replay and there's more to do even after you level up your character to what you think is complete. Let's see. Gear quality, we understand what that is. Where's the thing I wanted to show you guys? I thought was really neat. Check this out. Okay, so this time she's done. Yeah, so this is just showing how different items you can find and craft, create, move. So this lets her vault over enemies. Another one lets her slide in enemies and knock them over. So check it out. Yeah, so this armor lets her slide in, and they are saying you can change the cosmetics without changing the mechanics.
Who's there? Ah!
Right. Okay, I see. So basically, all three of those attacks were based on the secondary weapon and the perks and everything. So she couldn't slide into an enemy without the robe. She couldn't leap and vault over the enemy to do that kill shot without the headband. So I guess they're saying it's okay. Stilren says some of these things aren't even interesting to me. Okay, well let's talk about that though. Let's get to the essence of that, right? Hang on. Let's get to the essence of that, because end of the day, I look at this and I go, I think this looks really cool. Now it's clear a lot of you guys in the chat, because I've been tracking these deep dives since they've been putting them out on the Ubisoft website. And I really like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm hearing. And I agree with you guys that there's nothing in here that I say is I've never seen that in my whole fucking life. And the game may be the biggest criticism I've heard people level at the game who have played it is it might get samey, or it gets maybe repetitive. But I look at it and I say, and I wouldn't like that, right? Right. But I look at this and I say, though, but the sense of the world and the adventure and being in this space, something about it feels really good to me. Something about it feels like an adventure I want to go on, right? So I don't know. Maybe you guys can identify what it is that I'm responding to. Yeah, so Eddie says, I don't have the patience to slog through another AC game. And Carlos says it looks fine, but I kind of wish I didn't play the last one. Okay, yeah, I mean, that's it because it doesn't look different. Morgan says, I think it looks cool as hell. I have the game paid up because it's free with my PC day one. And then Blackjack, here's the point. So Blackjack says, you say Horizon is a bad franchise when AC has so many shortcomings. The problem with Horizon, for me personally, is there, Horizon, maybe the reason I harp on Horizon is it's so close and it falls down by something that it shouldn't have fallen down at. The combat in that game is magnificent. The visuals in Horizon are magnificent. But that can tell you how much the pontificating windbag that is the protagonist gets to me, and how that game is talky and self-important when it should be a 10% pathos and 90% pulp action adventure game. But it's so self-important and it's so serious and so ponderous that it kind of feels like, can you imagine if somebody, it kind of feels like Ragnarok to me. I mean, I don't really understand it. It's like Sony Santa Monica and Guerrilla, both of them in Horizon and Ragnarok, had these great summer tentpole action adventures that could have sold bajillions more than they did. But they didn't, at least in my opinion, because both of them were so up their own butthole about how important they were, that it just kind of collapsed in on itself. They couldn't do that kind of thing. Not everybody can or should be Neil Druckmann, basically. Kenny says that's what makes the game great. To you, I appreciate that. I respect that. Not to me. But anyway, I'm absolutely looking forward to this. Who wrote this? Somebody wrote in the chat about basically you're buying in on the adventure. It's not so much the individual mechanics are like the best thing in the world, but the adventure looks like a really fun adventure to take. That's my take. They have said today, if you pre-order and I assume if you get it like I will on Ubisoft Plus, you'll get the Claws of Awaji expansion, where the two heroes go to a brand new island and they are being hunted by some kind of new, what does it say? It says they're trying to secure an object for Japan's future, but it won't be easy because they have these groups that are putting traps and ambushes, and they are a new faction called the Senzoku Ipa, whatever. So it's kind of a hunted kind of thing. Shalasi, I didn't hate Alan Wake 2 because it's pretentious. I didn't hate it at all, but I thought it was slow and I got bored of it. Absolutely. And so I stopped playing it. But yeah, I'll be playing this on Ubisoft Plus. Like I've played, Star Wars, which I really enjoyed. Is there early access for this game? I don't know. It's a really interesting question because they have done early access on pre-order and they've also done it with Ubisoft Plus. But let's look up the pre-order and see if there is early access. Let's see. Okay, let's just do AC Shadows pre-order. Let's see what you get. I have a great deal of interest, Jay Styles, in Split Fiction. Yes, I definitely want to play that game. And I'll be playing it the minute I can, the minute it comes out. All right, let's see. Pre-order it. Here's what you get if you actually buy it. Digital Deluxe, base game, upcoming expansion, bonus quest. Yeah, so this does not have early access. And I wonder what that's about. I wonder if they are kind of thinking that may have hurt them with Star Wars and they're going, oh, okay. It doesn't say day one. It says the upcoming expansion is day one, or the upcoming expansion is included with the pre-order, but it does not say like the other ones that if you get it pre-order or if you get it on Ubisoft Plus, it's releasing early. So, Cameron says Horizon Zero Dawn sold like 30 million. Cool. It doesn't negate anything that I'm saying to me, but I'm glad you like it. I would say this though. I would say that Shu said when he was on Colin's show or Greg's show that the second Horizon did not do as well as the first. And I think a lot of people probably just sort of were like, we didn't love the first one as much as we wanted to. Doesn't Ubisoft Plus hurt game sales, says Velo? I assume so. Yeah. I mean, it obviously does, but I haven't heard them come out yet and say our issue is that when looking at Star Wars and why it hasn't sold well. My take is if you've seen the one change they've done, obviously they've gotten rid of early access day one. And they also did not cut price on Star Wars for a very long time. Those two things they may be saying that's why people are starting, that we've trained them to go, oh, it's a Ubisoft game. It'll be on sale in 2 weeks. Why buy it? Okay. Let me get some of these super chats or member chats. I appreciate it. And then I want to answer someone's question in the chat real quick. Well, let's see. Bold Alpha Wolf, thank you, buddy. He says, I think part of it is Ubisoft dragged their feet, taking the franchise to Japan, and Ghost Tsushima beat them to the punch. Right. Well, and that's absolutely, you're right. But the question then becomes, and maybe I'm just, like I said, you guys are kind of tired on AC and I'm not. But when I go through not just all of these, like you have the afflictions now that you can make enemies bleed, poison, daze, and they knock them out. They show that in examples. You have base building and stuff in this game, or your home building and stuff. And that's just this. But then if you look at like their stealth section, their combat section, their navigation section, to me, I look at it and go, wow, this has a lot more systems and deeper systems than Tsushima did. And I love Tsushima. I thought it was fucking excellent. So it could be that. It absolutely could be that. Bukaki, you can play this on Ubisoft Plus day one. Yes, you can't get it early because it seems like they're not doing early access. But yes, you absolutely can. By the way, somebody was asking, what is the show goal? The show goal, which, we could get there, but we've kind of slowed down. You've lost my you've lost my, I'm not impressed anymore. I was very impressed by you moneybags, but basically, I'm going to show you guys one of the stories that got cut from Twisted Metal 2012 for Mr. Grimm. I've had AI take it and fuck around with it, but so, it's not like you're going to watch the world's best visuals, but I'll kind of tell you how the story would have come together. I'll show you the story. And in that, that's basically what today's goal is. If we can get up to 50 members or gifted members, then absolutely I will show it to you. If not, it stays in the Jaffe vault. It stays in the Jaffe vault. I disagree, Stanley. The complaints about Alloy being annoying in Forbidden West are valid. She already saved the world. Why would she need to prove herself to anyone else? Oh shit. Jojo D, Wreckfest 2 is in 3 weeks. I mean, I saw the trailer and there was a new trailer, which was okay, but it's Wreckfest 2. I don't give a shit if it's just more tracks. That's excellent. That's excellent. I'm looking forward to it. All those systems have been in earlier games, so to a new person, or in my case, a casual person, it must be the craziest thing ever. Fair enough. But I do wonder what in the fuck that the folks over at Sucker Punch are going to do now. Like, do they look at this and they go, oh shit, boys. Oh shit, boys. We're in trouble. We need to pump this up. Or maybe they're like, oh, we got this. Our visuals are better. Our controls are better. We have a couple gimmick systems that actually are a blast. And we're going to put out our trailer. Maybe that's why they didn't show the trailer at the PlayStation, whatever it was, the showcase or whatever they call it, a couple weeks ago. Because they're like, no, we're going to drop this 2 weeks from today. So 3 days before this comes out. Could be that. But yeah, no, Wreckfest I'm looking forward to. Valo 216. Holy shit, of the Cincinnati 216s. There she goes. She steps up to the plate and she says, hey, Jaffe, I would like to see. I don't know why she sounds like the Foghorn Leghorn in the cartoons, but she says, Jaffe, I would like to see that motion picture show about Mr. Grimm. I don't blame you, pal. Thank you so much. We are now up to 14 out of 50. What are we doing, boys? How are we not? Okay, here's what I'll tell you. For every member, we add to that. Or every super chat, $10 or more, we add 6. Okay? Just letting you know. All right. Bukaki says, I don't think they're sweating over this. The game is less woke, featuring a woman instead of a woman. Oh, shut up, Bukaki. Shut up. God damn it. All right, let's keep moving on. I don't know the sports either, Valo. I just wanted people to be impressed with me. Okay. Now, I bring this up. Activision taps AI for sneak peek at possible Guitar Hero, Call of Duty, and Crash Bandicoot games. I'm kind of annoyed at how, I get it. You play to the audience. A lot of the people in the internet community seem to hate AI, whatever. I don't. I think it's really cool. But Activision basically has created a bunch of AI images that are about non-existent games that you can click on. And when you click on them, it says, hey, this game doesn't exist yet, but it might. Fill out this survey, right? So it gives you Guitar Hero, Call of Duty Zombie Defender. Let's see what that looked like. This was Call of Duty Zombie Defender. If we can see the picture, here it is. Right. So all this is with AI. And then they say, hey, if you're interested in this, hit us up and fill out the survey and maybe we'll make it. Right. And then they have one that's about Crash. Let's see the Crash one. Do we get to see that one? No, we don't get to see the Crash one, which sucks. But anyway, and people are upset. People are annoyed, blah, blah, blah. Here's the Guitar Hero one. Let's see if we get to see the Crash one. Probably not. But anyway, honestly, this is not new. Using AI is new, but frankly, why would you do anything other than this if you worked in these companies, right? I want to make you aware, if you're not already, of Canon films back in the 70s and 80s, but they weren't the only ones. What they did, and if you're a movie aficionado, you know this, what they did was they would make posters and trailers for movies that didn't exist yet. And they would take these posters and trailers to things like the Cannes Film Festival and try to see if there was any interest. And if there was, they would sell the rights to the movie to be distributed in different countries. And then they would take that money and that's what they would use to make the movie with, right? And they would, somebody in the office would have an idea. The head of Canon would go to one of the artists and say, hey, I have this idea about dinosaurs, but they're toys, but they've been infused with the DNA of serial killers. Make me a poster. And then if people like the poster, they'd be off to the fucking races, right? This is the same thing, right? Why spend more than, 3 days on this and more money? I mean, seriously, if you were running the company, why spend more than 3 days on this, have the marketing department do it, have it feed it into the AI $20 a month chat thing, put it up, and then if suddenly the world loves it, then you staff up and make the game. Just because it's AI, but I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of people should put themselves in the shoes of people. Like if you ever had to run your own company, or if you ever had a lemonade stand and you could press a button and the grocery store would send a little robot, the little robots that deliver food locally, they deliver all your lemonade supplies. Well, suddenly you've put a driver out of work. Well, yeah, but you make a lot more money in your lemonade stand. I mean, would you not do that? If you could look at the numbers and say, lemonade, we'll sell it. We'll make a 20% profit. If we use a little robot, we'll make a 48% profit. Wouldn't you do it? I don't think so, Controller Sports. Controller Sports says using AI art makes it a tougher sell. Well, yes, to some people, but I think it is very much a tempest in a teacup. I think it's like Assassin's Creed Shadows. I think the internet is convinced itself, or Twitter has convinced itself, that they speak for the trees. They speak for the majority. But in reality, I don't think anybody gives a rat's ass. Call of Duty 6 is great, still selling. They're using AI shit. As an artist, I'd be more inclined to want AI if I could train on my own, or if there was a vetted list of art that was compensated. Oh yes, Cataclysm, agree. I think we all agree. 100%. But that's a different issue. They're not the same. Eddie T, I just don't believe you. When you say all AI art looks the same, there's no soul. I just don't believe you. I've worked with artists my whole career. I think that is a concept that we have accepted, but I think if you were to sit down and you had to write a paper, like a thesis, or what is it in college? Like you write your final, whatever. If you had to write a real in-depth paper and say, okay, Eddie, you think AI art has no soul. Okay, gotcha. Write a paper explaining why this piece of art done by a human of zombies with guns has soul, but this AI art does not. And I'm not saying you're wrong, but I would be staggered if you could do that. And if you could, I would love to do it, because then I would come around. But Arathizel, that doesn't sell anybody on anything. Imagine writing a paper and your thesis is the soul is missing and it is obvious. I understand what you're saying, but just because you say it doesn't make it true. I could show two images, one AI and not one, and you couldn't tell the difference, says Fanto. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me show you this. We were playing yesterday. I wasn't going to talk about this, not because I'm like opposed to it, because, you guys know where I stand, but I was very impressed by this. So we were playing D&D yesterday, right? And Hectorhowl in the chat is our dungeon master. And while we were just kind of waiting around for things to load, because we were looking at the new sigil software, I just took a screenshot of him. And I said, hey, I went into Soma or whatever it's called. And I just said, okay, make the dungeon master get all upset. And this took literally 3 minutes, 2 minutes. Look at this. That's him. That's the picture I basically copied from the screen. Now, is it perfect? No, but it's getting really good, you guys. It's getting really good. Now he looks a little crazy there, but I mean, it's, I'm sorry, but it's Okay, but Bold Alpha Wolf, you guys are, let me ask you this, Bold Alpha Wolf or Arathizzle, does it bother you guys that you're speaking in such broad terms? Like you understand that as much as you might feel what you're saying is valid, and it may very well be, but you're speaking in these massive broad terms. Bold Alpha Wolf wrote, machines will never understand nuance. It's that simple. And my response is, I don't care. No, nor do you. If you can't identify the lack of nuance, like if I showed you this image and you couldn't tell, if I said, oh, my kid drew this, you go, cool. You don't have to speak broadly in 200 characters. Just, how hard, yeah, I saw all the AI of Zelensky punching Trump and stuff. All I'm saying is I'm not trying to push back and be contrarian. I'm just saying that if you're going to make a statement like that, then I think you have to, you got to back it up with something, Again, Ravnos, you're doing the same thing. The fact that he writes this, the fact that you do not get the point is astonishing to me. I don't care at this point. I can't deal with people on the internet simply talking in vagary. Explain it to me then. Articulate it. I love White Lotus, man. That's a good fucking show. Okay. One Pump says, I find the soulless argument funny because games being made today by people get the soulless stamp all the time. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's move on. But I have to remind you, I'm already, what is up with the show goal? Is the show goal not compelling enough? You don't want to see an ending that it's okay. You must not love Twisted Metal, and that's fine. All right, that's fine. That's fine. Jake DeWitt kicked us up 6 notches. Now, I want you to think for a minute, you guys. Jake DeWitt, thank you. And thank you for that delightful little sticker of a little cat going, ee. I love it, Jakey DeWitt. And you've kicked us up because it's a $10 super chat. That kicks us up to 20 out of 50. We're getting there, boys. We're getting there. But I don't know. If I were you guys, I would feel really bad about the fact that all of this is being built on the back of Jake DeWitt. Think about that. That man has done all the heavy lifting today. All the heavy lift. Not all of it, but a lot of it. AI stigma is real, yet completely undefined by detractors. Yeah. I like the people who say, oh, I don't like that it's going to take jobs. I agree with you. Or they say, I don't like the fact that there's no legislation protecting artists whose work is being used to train it. I say, I agree with you. But that is a well-articulated point. But just saying it's soulless, what the fuck does that mean? Okay, hey! Awesome Tatum is not fucking around. There you go, Tatum. My goodness, dropping a 10. Thank you, buddy. We are now up to 26. We are over halfway there to get our beautiful goal. And here's the fun part about this. Here's the fun part about my goals. If you don't like my goals, then never, ever, ever not subscribe, but never, ever, go. I'm going to lose you guys in the future. I'm only as good as my last goal. So if I show you this and you're like, oh, that was stupid, then I'll be like, oh, fuck, I got to work harder. I want you guys to get value for your money. Goddamn right. Oh, buddy, I'm sorry. Nobody should have. I'm fucking around with you guys, but please. He says, I'll resub to Colt next month, but I have prescriptions to pay for. Man, please don't. You don't have to say anything, no matter what you're spending your own money on. It's your fucking money. But my God, the fact that people have to, the prescription thing in this country, I don't want to get started. All right, let's move forward. Oh, look at this. Look, this, I'm not going to talk about that. Let's move on. Talk about it later, maybe. Have you heard about this? Now, this may be the most clever marketing ever. The most clever marketing of all time. Machine XP, thank you for the super chat, buddy. He says, using AI is certainly the future with everything. Yes. People act surprised. People act surprised. Why? I don't know. I don't know why they act surprised. Every business is doing this. Every business in history does this. They make it as cheap as they can, as long as it's acceptable to the market. What? Twisted Sith says Jaffe supports Big Crunch but not Big Pharma. Sounds like a big hypocrite to me. That sounds like you should write political ads. I don't support Big Crunch. I support people who are able to say, I don't want that in my life. And I respect that and I get it 100%. 100% man. But I also go, if you want to achieve, what I don't agree with is this about Crunch. I don't agree with everybody having to buy in on that. If everybody believed in no crunch, most of the world's great inventions would not exist, because greatness happens when you have obsession and talent, and that is able to be shared and improved by a team. Okay, that's just the way it is. I'm sorry to say, but you don't get to be an elite athlete, creator, actor, whatever, if you don't put in the time. That's number one. Number two, yeah, I don't support Big Pharma. You're right. Listen to this, though. Listen to this. K-Nubs has stepped up. Of the Cincinnati K-Nubs, very good family, very wealthy. I don't care if they're Scientologists, and he has kicked us up from 26 to 32. 32. Holy shit, you guys. We may make it today. You may get to see the fate. And I kind of look at it now and I wonder. I saw somebody say, K-Nubs, that the Twisted Metal ending for Mr. Grimm in 2012 was probably the saddest of them. But there were people that wanted more of the, ha, Calypso fucked you, I got you. And this one that I'm going to show you, if we make it to 50, is indeed that. Okay. Arathizzle says, it is not the future with everything. Businesses that stay out of it will be more stable. It's a financial bubble. I'm not talking about investing in AI. I'm talking about making things cheaper for your customers with AI. My Taco Bell is pretty much all the drive-through now is strictly AI. There's no bubble there. Why would I, it's faster. It's more accurate. What bubble are we talking about? Okay. Jaffe says, Ravnos, you have already stated several times you do not get it and think it's dumb to have it on your walls. So it's not shocking you do not get the soul. I don't know what you're talking about at that point. I don't really understand the sentence. Oh my God, Bukaki, go to therapy. You're not dying. You caught your fucking shit in time. You may have to go to dialysis, but hopefully you won't. You'll know in a couple of months. You're eating healthy. You're a young dude. I get it's scary. We've all been there if we're old enough to have been there. You're going to be fine. Jesus. But if you're not, I get it. I get it. But go to a therapist. You're not dying. Your doctor's caught it. They're keeping you alive. You're making changes. Stop being a little fucking bitch. I get it. You're scared at first. It's been a couple of weeks now. Let's man the fuck up. Do some meditation. Go to a therapist and go, all right, well, got to change my life. I'm doing that. You're doing great. Shut the fuck up, you bitch. Now, did I skip the Oscars? I scrubbed through them a little bit. I watched Conan's opening. I saw some of the jokes. I did watch Conclave yesterday because I'm like, well, I'd like to watch one of these motion picture shows. And I enjoyed it. I didn't love it. I loved parts of it. I thought it was a beautiful looking movie, beautifully performed, great production value, great music. And it was a great story, but there were some parts where I was like, but I thought it was great. But no, I don't really care too much about the Oscars anymore. I think they're just as silly as any other award show. BT Maverick, thank you, buddy. He says, Jaffe, have you seen Strange Darlings, the movie? It's freaking awesome and dark with Tarantino dialogue. Lets you know, okay, Strange. I've never even heard of it. Strange. Let me look it up real quick. Then I got to tell you about this marketing thing. Hang on. Strange Darlings. What is this? Who's in this? Check out the new trailer. What's it about? One night stand, sexy redhead lady. All right, I'll give it a look. Okay. Okay, so there's this game out, right? There's this game out. It's been out actually. It's been out actually for 10 years, I believe. Yeah, it's been out for 10 years. It's called A Good Snowman is Hard to Build. How much you're going to pay for it? Can you guess? Let me put up a picture of the game on the screen so you can see what it looks like. And maybe you guys can guess, like, what would you pay for this game? Check this shit out. I heard the De Niro thing on Netflix is really good, JJG. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? How much would you pay for this game if you like puzzle games? Let's assume it's a good puzzle game, which I hear it is. Well, here's how much you're going to pay. If you go over to itch.io and you want it, check the weather report, because this game is so batshit with their marketing. They basically said, look, in honor of the 10th anniversary, we are going to make the price whatever the temperature is in London, right? So right now, at least according to PC Gamer, when they wrote this article, the temperature was 9.4 degrees Celsius. So it'll cost you $9.40. If you buy it tonight, or if you buy it at 6 a.m. in the morning tomorrow, the temperature is projected to be 1 Celsius. So it'll cost you $1. Now, if it goes into the negative, they said they're not going to pay you any money. But, and again, I just think this is fucking clever. I think this is delightfully fucking clever. I don't know if it's a good game. And I'm certainly not expecting anyone else to do anything like this. But when somebody does something clever in the world of video games, I think it's our duty, our fucking mission, to call this shit out. Bukaki says, I can no longer afford dialysis because of this super chat. Definitely dying now. You're a little bitch, buddy. Man the fuck up. Put on some quitter music and dance around your living room in your underwear like in Working Girl. Remember she did that? Because everybody has watched Working Girl, because we're all kids of the 80s that are into rom-coms. Yeah, we'll miss you, Bukaki. Rob says, I'll miss you, pal. Absolutely. Okay, let's move forward. You guys aren't impressed with this fucking story? Buck, get up tomorrow, or at least figure out the time difference and get up tomorrow and pick up the game for $1 when it's 1 degree Celsius. The developer does want you to know, though, they're not going to be upset with you if you convert to Fahrenheit, where it'll cost you $30 right now, or if you convert it to Kelvin, where the game's basically $300 right now. So, you know, yeah, you can tell what kind of a teenager I was. I say dance in your underwear like Melanie Griffith in Working Girl, and Struggle Boxing says dance in your drawers like Tom Cruise. That's right. That's right. Jaffe, no matter how much I played Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, it dose not in. I understand. I saw Micah Moriarty, or Micah Watson, Colin's wife, had finished it and platinumed it, or she got the final trophy. I don't get those kids are peas in a pod. They're made for each other. The ability for Colin and his wife, Micah, to actually fucking finish games at a clip that I've never seen before, other than maybe Gene Park, is kind of astonishing. It's kind of astonishing. But yeah, I definitely want to go back and play. I want to go back to it. Absolutely. Listen to this. Stephen Hawking steps up. Thank you, buddy. He gets us 12 big fucking members. Not members, but ducats to the sub goal. He says, here you go. I have a colonoscopy tomorrow. It is your duty to think about me getting the camera put in me. Listen, buddy. Listen. I'm not even fucking with you guys. I'm not even fucking with you guys. But first off, Stephen, thank you very much. Let's kick that up. We are now at 38. We are basically 12 away from, I mean, maybe you guys are racist because in the new Twisted Metal, Mr. Grimm's a black guy. And maybe you guys just, you know, I don't know. Maybe you guys don't like the black folks. Wait, 32 plus 12. No, we're closer than that. I got my math wrong. Hang on. We were at 32, and then we add 42. We're at 44. We're 6 away. Did I get the math wrong? I don't think so. We were at 32, right? And then 12, 32. Yeah, that's 44. Okay, good. We're 6 away, you guys. All right. Thank you, Stephen, for that. Very, very, very much, man. The yellow text is impossible to see. Yeah, let me make it better for you guys. I'm a, you know, I'm not a short order cook, but I have to balance my desire to do what I want to do, while at the same time making sure that you guys feel taken care of and loved by me. There you go. Is that better? It's a little better. The font's not great. It's 44 out of 50. What the fuck was I talking about, though? What the fuck was I talking about? Kingdom Come 2 doesn't suck, Calpy. What are you talking about? Am I joking with Bukkake? Well, I'm joking with him, but look, I don't think he would mind me saying it because he's told everybody ad nauseum about it. So the guy had really bad blood pressure. He was really not doing well. Diabetes, blah, blah, blah. Young dude, he goes to the doctor. They're like, dude, you're in bad shape. So they put him on a diet. They gave him some medicine. He's getting all that worked out. He's on dialysis now because he may have done damage to his kidneys. He may not have, at least enough that he needs to be on it his whole life. So I don't think anyone's making fun of how serious it was. But once you're on dialysis, God forbid, even if he has to be on it the rest of his fucking life, he's not going to die of it. My mom was on dialysis for like 20 years, as long as he, so that's all I'm saying. Plus, think about it. He could probably get on disability and then he could like afford what I pay my mods, then he could just, you could sit in dialysis all day long and just be on the internet and stream. You'd be the richest fucking guy in the world. What was I talking about? I went to the doctor. He said, yeah, you're dying. Everybody's dying, Bukkake. That's not the point. Oh, the colonoscopy. Yes. Okay. Listen. The colonoscopy. I don't know how well it did or how you were prepped for it. But I, like most men, are like, oh, God, I got to get a colonoscopy when I'm over 40 or whatever. But I didn't have to have an enema, which thank God, because I didn't want that crappy shit. I just basically drank a bunch of this shit. And then when I went in, man, it was a delight because they gave me these drugs. And ask your doctor for drugs, because a lot of people say, oh, I got drugs, but I didn't get what you got. But I got this drug, and the actual process of the tube going up my butthole was I didn't even think about it. It was like, whatever. But the joy of it was after the operation, the drug's still in you for like an hour. And my goodness gracious, I can't, they're like, okay, well, you're clean. You won't need another one for 5-6 years. I'm like, dude, I'll come back every week. I'll come back every fucking week. Cause it's the best drug I've ever experienced in my goddamn life. Jojo D, that's terrible. He says, I can feel my right ventricle flapping shut as I eat a burger. You know what's going to happen as more people get old who are comfortable with technology and streaming and shit like that? The cliche about old people, and let me tell you, it's true, is you just you sit around other old people that are getting older and talk about your maladies, right? You're talking about like, oh, this hurts now. The next big streamer breakthrough is going to be old people sitting in front of a camera going, well, my friend from high school died today and my knee's acting up. You could do a whole fucking show on that. That's going to be my new career once this dries up. Anyway, let's move on down the road, shall we? Look at this. Now look, nice to see you, Cantankerous. Look at this. Look at this. Look, first off, every trailer they put out, I kind of like a little bit more. So I am absolutely going to go see this movie. I'm going to see it when it opens. Father Alex, the colonoscopy is not over $1,000 if you have insurance. If you're paying for it by yourself, yeah, but try not to do that if you can. Point being though is I have to buy this, but everybody was making fun of this toy when it turned out that, it was one of the toys. And this is the one toy that is currently sold out on Amazon. You can't get it unless you get it from England, and it's like a 25-30% markup, right? But this thing is such a dumb fucking toy that I have to have it now. It like there's no articulation. Who would want to play with this character? This has got to be a gag gift. But alas, it's not. It's a real fucking toy. but they're sold out everywhere. And I thought that the Wicked doll with the Wicked.com thing was going to be the thing that really sells out. And you could sell it on eBay. But no, it's this. Blackjack says it looks like shit. Of course it does. Of course. I mean, it's not like it would maybe be a non-ironic or unironic collector's edition if McFarlane Toys made it. And you were like, holy shit, that's like 1-to-1 and it's crazy articulated. It looks just like Jack Black. But this part of its delightful charm is just what a bad toy it is. It's horrible. It's horrible. So what do you mean it has nothing to do with Minecraft? It has everything to do with Minecraft the movie. And I'm very much looking forward to it because the new trailer looks good. It looks pretty good. Yeah, no, I'm going to pick this up. It'll be on the back wall as soon as I can find one. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, Jack Black's think about this. Jack Black, is making so much money right now. And you know who else is? Harrison Ford clearly is at a point in his life where either he's gambled it all away, he's got a terrible drug addiction, or he knows he's going to be dead in 10 years. And he's just now collecting to leave to his kids and great grandkids and all that shit. Because that man will pretty much do anything now. He'll do Jeep commercials. He'll do Apple TV. He'll do a terrible Indiana Jones movie. He's playing the fucking Hulk in a movie nobody went to see. He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give a shit. K-Nubs, thank you for the super chat, buddy. He says, Jaffe, what you just described sounds like Feature Man on YouTube. Just a charming old geezer who has past movie TV stories he was in. I should watch that. That sounds actually pretty good. Yeah, we could gift one of these toys, Terminator, to Bukaki so he could take it with him to dialysis. And they're like, oh, what do you got there, little boy? Because that's what they call him, because everybody else here is old because, you know, it's kidney dialysis. And he's like, this is my toy. That's my story. Harrison Ford has a family. Yeah, he's married to Callista Flockhart. I think they have a couple of kids. Yeah, Bold Alpha says Brave New World was good. I'm sure it was. And I'll see it when it comes out on Disney streaming, but that's pretty much it. Okay. Yeah, I'm putting that on my back wall. You goddamn right. Hello, Kyler. I'm well. I'm well, but I'm getting a little scared because we're only 6 members away. Holy shit. We have arrived. We're not. Now I'm doing great. You guys, we did it. Steve Hawkins shows up, does the final bit of heavy lifting. He says, I have TRICARE, military, and Medicare. Very blessed, and hopefully Trump, Elon don't touch it either. Anyways, I'm about to mess myself in the workshop. What? That sounds horrible. The prep literally makes you have the squirts. Oh, what's the workshop? Oh, yeah, you shit all day long. You shit all goddamn day long. But Stephen Hawkins, you've gotten us there. We are going to be, not now, but when we close out the show today, we are going to be showing you, because we've made our show goal, the secret Mr. Grimm ending, which is, we did actually shoot a couple of endings. And I'll kind of let you know where those are and show you a couple of them on YouTube. And then after that, I'll show you the one that was never made, but it was written, and it was going to be it was the ending that I originally was going to do for Mr. Grimm. And I ended up auditioning him, the actor that got the role, with this particular part. But we did it, you guys. We got 50 out of 50 memberships. Yay. Congratulations to all the players. Thank you guys very, very, very much. Very kind. Thanks, guys. Seriously, that's wonderful. I appreciate it. Let me just see if I can, because usually I can see all the money in one place, and I want to be able to thank the people that have done that. So I'll do that in a minute, but we'll move on for now, though. Okay. Let's move forward. Okay. Now we're going to get into some weird news, and then we'll get into some politics. Okay. I need you to understand this. Now, this was a while ago. If you remember, there was a high school that put on Alien, the play. And recently a high school in, where did they brought it back. It was an encore presentation. Did you ever see this? And if you didn't, I mean, let me show you the greatest thing in the world. If I knew this was an option in high school, I would have been the most theater kid you ever would have seen in your goddamn life. Here we go. I'm going to show you one scene. Not that. This scene. Here you go.
Apology not accepted.
You know the scene.
All right,
I'm
then.
kidding. How you feeling, huh?
Honestly, not great.
Well, eat up. You'll feel better.
I hope so. It sucks.
Get used to it. We have 10 more months until we get back home.
10 more months? What?
Yeah, man.
Well, first thing I'm gonna do when we get back is eat some decent food.
He's got the right idea.
Tell me about it.
I've had worse than this, but I've had better too, if you know what I mean.
You pound down this stuff like no tomorrow.
I mean, I like it.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, it kind of grows on you.
It should. You know what they make this stuff out of?
I don't know what to make it out of. So what? It's food. You're eating it now.
Hey, what's wrong?
What's the matter? Food ain't that bad.
I don't know. I think I'm getting cramps.
Breathe deeply. Everything's going to be all right.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I hurt so bad.
Can you imagine being in high school and doing this? This would make the high school. Suddenly, you couldn't keep me out of high school if this was it.
What hurts? Hold
That's right, bit rate.
Stop! Don't touch it!
Doesn't matter.
Don't touch it!
There.
How'd they do it? They have to have it run across the ground, though.
What's that? What in the Christ was that?
It was growing him the whole time, and
Sarah Patrol.
I want to see the alien at the end. Hang on. Wait, she's in the loader? Where's the alien?
The option to override.
Wait, where is the alien? Oh, the alien goes into the audience, if I remember correctly. Check this out.
System is now activated. The ship will detonate in T-minus 5 minutes. The option to...
There it is. There it is. Come on, man. This is the best high school in the world.
The option to override automatic...
The whole thing is an hour and a half. I will link it in the chat right now. Here you go. Isn't that something, you guys? Man, that's how you get the students engaged. Let them make something like that, or let them make like Kill Bill, or that's the shit, man. All right. Let's move on. Let's get to politics. I was going to talk about Monsters Unchained, but I'll save that. For later. This is the new thrill ride. I want to talk politics a little bit. You guys know I'm the most... Jarvie said Jaffe did Lau Cal Weird do well enough that Keemstar is going to continue it. I have no idea. Oh, it's not canceled. Basically on the weekends over on that channel, we can do whatever we want. And I was like, I'll see if people over there like the weird topics. They seem to really like them, and I will probably be doing it next week. But I think we're still trying to define what the Monday through Friday night show is in terms of if it's going to stay tech talk or whatever. So I'm not entirely sure. But no, I loved it, and people seem to really enjoy it, which made me happy. Okay. Yeah, I would have auditioned if it was at my high school too. You goddamn right. Yeah, what did you guys in the chat say? Somebody suggested making... where did it go? It was some other movie that I thought would have been cool. Oh, make Minecraft. Yeah, that would be cool. I did see Amarouth. I don't know if she smoked him. She shot... There were 3 intruders that followed her home, broke in, and she chased them out. Well, she shot them in the house, and they all 3 ran out, and I think one guy was saying something like, I got shot, but it wasn't like shot in the head or anything. They could still run. Keemstar stole our show. No, he didn't. You guys just didn't watch the show here. And I figured that audience, I'm not saying there weren't fans of it here, But this audience really seems to be mostly interested in game stuff, which I get. And every now and then they let me, or you guys let me run afoul and talk politics like I'm about to, but I have to always do the game stuff first. You know, I'm cool with that. I'm you know, you got to put things where they go. You know, like Seinfeld, not that we're Seinfeld, but Seinfeld, I remember, was on the air for so long and it didn't do anything. And then I think they like moved it, to like Thursdays, and suddenly it became a big fucking hit, man. So thank you, Oh, good to see you, Waffles. You're from over there. Okay. Now, Panini was great. She was really nice. Okay. Now listen. Hello, Robbo. I want to ask you guys this because you guys know that I am super duper progressive liberal, the most progressive guy you've ever met. And so I'm not here to argue Trump or not with me. What I begin being curious about or fascinated about has more to do with the people who either were on the fence or don't really care or are certainly happy they voted for Trump. As a progressive, when I hear certain things like I'm about to share with you, I'm honestly more fascinated by, you know, what do you guys think if you liked this guy or voted for this guy? It's one of the things I want to have Colin on the show about next week at our lunch with Jaffe, because he's, you know, he voted for Trump and I'm like, okay, talk to me about this. Is this liberal propaganda? And I'm, you know, reading too much into it. Like, here's an example. So you guys know, like listen to this story first. JFK International Airport on red alert as foreign traveler imports deadly disease, right? So this guy flew in, a kid flew in from China. He's tested positive for measles. And measles has a 90%, what's the word? Is it, not addictive? What's the word? Is contagion rate, right? So if you're around somebody, you have a very high chance of getting it. The kid's on an airplane. Then the kid goes to a couple of clinics in Philadelphia. And so they're tracking him and letting people know, hey, if you were on this flight, if you were at these clinics where he got shots, you guys need to go and get yourself checked out, right? And then we're also dealing with a measles outbreak in Texas, 173 people. 2 people have died. The first time in the U.S. people have died in a decade from it. And the reason I bring it up is you've got JFK that for the longest time, a lot of people were voting, or RFK Jr., a lot of people were voting for him and supporting him. And he was given his standing in the cabinet. He was confirmed by the Senate for Trump's, what's his job? He's the head of health or national health chief. He used to tell people, oh, vaccines don't work. I'm against vaccine, blah, blah, blah. And then now he's urging people to get vaccinated, which that's a little weird to me. It's like, okay, so did he believe in vaxxes this whole time and he was lying for some reason? Or did he not? But now suddenly he's come to Jesus because he's like, oh shit, if people are getting the measles and dying and it's on my watch. Like, if you voted for Trump, and I know that you guys, I know you guys voted for Trump. Some of you guys voted for Trump. My question is, how does this make you feel? I don't mean feel, but what is your take? Is it like, hey, he's doing his job. You know, part of learning and part of being good at a leader is getting new information in and changing your mind. And you know, maybe that's true. Here you go, Jaffe. Thank you, Twisted Sith. Gonna skip my insulin this month. Do not, to cut the cult, to keep the cult going. Fuck you, but thank you, buddy. And also, sadly, Trump has already gotten rid of the insulin cap at $35. So $5 ain't getting you your insulin anyway, but thank you very, very much. Okay, so Bold Alpha Wolf thinks he lies. Kyler says he lies. Neon Skater says he wasn't lying. He was talking about new vaxes. Okay. When coronavirus hit in October, Trump only did something when stock market crashed. Okay. Okay, so nobody listens to this and says this is good. Okay, well, let me ask you about another one then. Okay, fine. So Joey is with Neon Skater. Joey says measles vax is very different from the mRNA COVID vaxes that were being pushed. Okay, so you're saying JFK Jr. was never opposed to the measles virus, is what you're saying. Okay, All right. Well, let's move on to this one. I want to ask you about this one. Pete Hegseth, who I guess is now the Secretary of Defense or State. What's his role? Or he's the head of the Pentagon. U.S. spies have been ordered. This is the guy who was also recently a Fox News anchor. He was in the Army, and, good for him, and thank him for his service. But I don't think most people thought he was qualified. But again, he was confirmed. Okay. U.S. spies ordered to halt work countering Russian cyber threats. Pete Hegseth's instructions to focus on China and Iran rather than Moscow, despite warnings of high risk of attacks. Trump's Pentagon chief is ordered to halt to work on so they can't work on counter cyber threats from Russia anymore. His instructions are part of a larger reevaluation of all operations against Moscow. Okay. So there was a time when people were saying, as far back as Hillary Clinton, that there were a number of people that were suggesting that Trump has been an asset. He's been an asset of the Russians since the 80s when they bailed him out of some real sticky widget financial issues. And this is just kind of more of that, right? So the question is not, Neon Skater says China is hitting us on a daily basis. No one is suggesting it's wrong to focus on China and Iran. I imagine if you are in the intelligence world, every day there's a different tuning of the knobs of who's getting most of our resources as it relates to attention. But when we hear that Trump was an asset, when we hear things like the very first meeting Trump had last term that was off the record in his office that no one was allowed in was a Russian member of the cabinet of Putin, and no one knows what they talked about. When we see what happened with Zelensky the other day, the question is, the guys in the chat, the girls in the chat that voted for Trump, is just like, yeah, whatever. It's not a big deal. I mean, I'm not saying the Russians should be our mortal enemy like they were in the 80s, like in the movie Red Dawn. But suddenly we're going to take all of our cyber security and just stop looking at threats from Russia. Doesn't that seem worrisome? It's not another conspiracy theory. It's right here. U.S. spies ordered to halt work countering Russian cyber threats. Young Sigma says, bro just believes anything. Okay, but Young Sigma, look, if you actually want to engage, then help me out. Show me where this is false. Show me information to suggest that this information is not accurate. And I'm all over it. Let's take a look at Grounded News. But why would anyone want to be pro-Russia who's running America? I mean, they don't have our best interests at heart. They're not our allies. Okay, let's see. Do we see this anywhere? But I would like to know where you guys are saying bro just believes anything. And it's not a left or right thing. Brad Glasgow says Trump supporters don't care what he does ever. A Chinese guy just donated $70 million to Trump and they dropped the investigation against him. Twisted Sith says, Jaffe, with all your knowledge of AI, how can you believe anything? You can't really believe anything. You just can't. But at the same time, though, I do trust. That's why I go to aggregate news sources like ground.news. And I see multiple news sources going, we've debunked this, that, and the other. I'm not getting this off Facebook, though. No one anyone claims a conspiracy is not a conspiracy. There's always been some twisted shit. Well, yeah, that's true. MSNBC, which is very liberal and very tilted, so I don't know if I believe them all the time, but Bold Alpha says, but I like them because they say what I want to hear. So, but I have the awareness that I have a bias, right? MSNBC says they found a Russian media reporter who wasn't on the media approved list that was in the Oval Office during the Zelensky thing. Right. Oh yeah, Kyler, I think honestly, I would like, well, of course, Matthew says Russians are good, fine people, but Putin's a thug. Yeah, that's totally different. The Chinese folks are great, wonderful people. Okay, but Young Sigma, this is what a lot of people like you do. He says, this is what Young Sigma says. He says, Jaffe, you're too smart to fall for some blue anon shit. You're not right or wrong, but you can't just say what, don't you understand that if you really want to help other people get to the truth, you would say, here's what your tweet should have been. You're too smart to fall for some blue anon shit, Jaffe. Take a look at that article that you're showing us, and then I want you to look at David Millward, who wrote it, the U.S. correspondent, and I want you to Google him as it relates to Iran-Contra. And then it's like, oh shit, this guy's totally in the pocket of the liberals or whatever. You're absolutely right, if that were the case. But you simply coming in and saying, oh, you're too smart for, I mean, what? What? You gotta help me see the truth if you're saying what I'm saying is a lie. Now let me help you guys, because this is not one side or the other. Both sides are in great failure when it comes to being critical. This was going around last night. This was a trending news story. De Niro's alleged fuck Trump comment at the Oscars sparks debate. And then here's all these people saying what he said. This was last night. And the Oscar goes to Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro speaks for the world. And I'm watching this and going, is everybody watching what I'm watching? And let me just play it for you. This is...
I'm going to say one thing. Fuck Trump.
Okay, this was at the Tonys 7 years ago, right? Do I agree? Fuck Trump? Yeah. Fuck Trump. He's a nightmare. I hate him. But all you have to do is watch the clip and go, why is the Tony Awards at the fucking Oscars? Right? This is the problem. I know it was at the Tonys, Kyler. That's what I'm saying. That it's absolutely ridiculous. It happens on both sides. We're not going to survive this, you guys. This is terrible. This is fucking terrible. That we aren't capable of going, oh, you know what? That's not the Oscars. Twitter. Engagement is one thing, but it clearly is not at the Oscars. It says Tony in large writing. That's how misinformation happens. Yeah, because we're fucking stupid. We're fucking stupid. Oh, I know, Bold Alpha. I know. Shut up, Bukaki. Okay, let me show you this real quick, though. Last thing I want to talk about briefly, and then I'll be back with you guys if you're interested on tonight's show as well. But I do want to talk about... Oh, and I want to show you Mr. Grimm, of course. One fact, let's get to Mr. Grimm. I want to talk about this instead. I'll save this other story for tomorrow because it'll cook. It'll cook. The petty mudslinging is totally besides the point of cronyism and shitty politicking. Yeah, but we're all the ones that they're using us to attack each other. They're using, we should not be attacking each other. It's ridiculous. You guys know me. I'm progressive. I'm LGBT ally as much as they'll have me. I despise a lot of conservative policy. But if you're conservative, as long as you're not hurting anybody, I don't hate you. And you don't probably hate me. But this is what they're doing. I mean, I hope everybody sees that more and more. I really do. Because we are fighting a battle that's meant to distract us all. And that's not conspiracy. You can see it now. You want to celebrate what's the guy's name? Musk? Cool. Maybe we do have too much government spending. But you can also celebrate a healthy, intelligent assessment of where we spend our tax dollars while also going, something's not right about the fact that a number of the agencies he's cutting just so happen to be the ones that are investigating him and Starlink and Tesla. Right? All right. Look, I want to talk about this. So, we did this. I shot, distract from what? Distract from the fact that, let's see, we have, tax cuts that are going to the wealthy. And I mean, if you actually knew, if you make $400,000 a year, you will be happy with the tax cuts. If you make less, like they pay nothing, they will get money back. If you make below poverty or above, you're not going to pay if you're poor at that level, even though you're supposed to, you're paying like $700. You're paying $3,000 if you make like $150,000. So that's one thing they're distracting us from. But anyway, okay. Let's move forward, though. I want to show you this, right? So, Twisted Metal, Grim, cut, unused, maybe. So these were scenes. We shot a bunch of stories for Mr. Grimm and all the characters that for Twisted Metal, but we ended up saying we can't use them all. We just don't have the money and the time to make all of these endings good. So we ended up going with that one story, right? And I was happy with it. I thought it was good and whatnot. But I always had hoped we could tell all the stories. Like if you look at this is the original ending. And I'm not going to show you the whole thing. You can find these on YouTube. But here, let me show you this. Right. So it's all green screened. And that's kind of where the money was going, right? Which is we had to go in and make the effects. And that's why we just didn't have the money and we didn't have the time. So this was one of the doll face stories that never got done, blah, blah, blah. And you can find a lot of these on the internet. Okay. So Mr. Grimm's original one was going to be, I'm going to show it to you now. And I'm going to, again, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you for helping us and getting us to the goal. And I understand that every time I offer a goal, we're only as good as the previous goal. So I don't know if this is going to be satisfying or not. Please let me know. But I think it's cool. And with AI, I mean, you have no idea. I love AI. The idea that we could have made these fucking movies with AI, I'm sorry, but we could have, because what you're seeing in a minute, these are just prompts that, but you then give these prompts to an actual fucking artist and you're like, holy shit, this is genuinely, functional. You can tell stories this way. If you give it to an artist that knows the prompts and then they take it into Photoshop and they take it into After Effects, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Okay. So let me bring up the video and thank you guys again for getting us to that, location, to the membership goal. Okay, here it is. I think this is the one. And there's no sound. I'm going to narrate it for you. Okay, so here we go. All right, so it opens with our pal Calypso playing chess with a demon on the rooftop of a skyscraper. There he is. There's our boy. There's the sexy demon. There she is. They're playing chess. They're just talking. And as they're talking, he's saying Mr. Grimm had won the competition, right? He came to visit me and demand his prize, as all winners do. I don't know what he's going to say. I hadn't written the dialogue, but I hope that he thinks through his prize carefully. He's had a tough life. I would hate to see him fuck himself up or whatever. All right, so there we go. There's Calypso playing the chess, and suddenly we hear vroom. And here he comes. There comes Grimm. There's Calypso. He's like, okay, so Grimm comes up onto the rooftop. He skids to a stop. And he basically starts yelling at Calypso, telling him what he wants. Now, I'll pause it for a second. Now, this was the actual, I wrote dialogue for this because this is what the actor that played Grimm ended up actually saying in his audition. And he was amazing, which is why he got the role. But his narrative was, his story was that he is a dude who, has been on the streets. He's been in gangs. He's had to fight his whole fucking life. And nothing, he just can't get his break. He's been to jail 3 times. Everything's crap. And he entered the contest because he wants a better life for himself. And he yells at Calypso. He's like, I want to be king. He says, so what do you want? He says, I want to be the king. I want to be king of the streets. I want to be the lord of everything. I want to be kingpin. And Calypso's like, are you sure? And he says, God damn it, man, make me the king. And then obviously Calypso, when he yells that, Calypso goes, okay, that's your final answer. and we get our little, your wish is granted. Here we go. Lightning, blah, blah, blah. Your wish is granted. He says, make me the king. And I wish I had this audition because it was great. There's our Calypso, blah, blah, blah. And then suddenly Grimm looks up and he's looking around, and then there's these massive pieces, chess pieces. And basically he's chained up to the king chess piece. And this I couldn't get AI to do in a very short amount of time. But he basically is melded into the chess piece of the king, right? So he was supposed to be screaming. He's a black dude. I don't know why his chest is white. And it's not supposed to look like he's tied to it. It's supposed to look like he is actually morphed into, almost like his molecules have melded with that of the giant king piece on the chess set, right? So he's screaming bloody murder. And I'm going to go through and improve these, actually, because I really think this could be really surreal and cool. So he's screaming bloody murder. He's like, motherfucker, whatever he says. And then we basically cut to Calypso, who's enjoying himself because I made him the king. And he picks up a chess piece as he is this giant over the chessboard, and he preps it and he slams it down and kills Mr. Grimm. And that was going to be the ending of Mr. Grimm if you beat the game on, I think, easy mode or hard mode. Medium is what the game shipped with, but there you go. So I'm going to show it again now, and I'll just let it play while we talk. But I don't know, man. I get it. I get the world doesn't love AI like I do, but even if it was just for a tool, man, even if it was just, going to the, making storyboards, if you're a film director and it's like, okay, I'm not going to worry. I'm not going to ship with this, but at the least I can tell the story and I can get people involved in what this is about. But at most, if you really get some talented people on this, I mean, that's the fucking actor. That's the fucking actor, man. And he looks real. He looks fucking real. Was Twisted Metal Monkey Paw before Monkey Paw? It always was. In fact, I remember sitting in Kelly Flock's office and he said to me, he's like, oh, it's like an O. Henry story. And I'm like, I don't know what that is, but I guess O. Henry stories are like Monkey Paw stories. But there you go. So I don't know. That's what, should I do more of these or not really? Like, it's like, I'd rather not see these, Jaffe. It's kind of, I feel bad I spent my money. Or would you like to see, as some, not all, but every now and then we do a sub goal, which is like, I'll show you what the Dollface story was going to be, or I'll show you what the Axel story was going to be when we were thinking of putting Axel in the game. Or is it like, yeah, not so much. Not so much. What do you guys think? Help me, educate me. This looks good for 10 years. It'll be a real threat. Yeah. You can't capture it. Well, he wasn't say capturing it would have been checkmate. So he kind of slams it down, but I didn't have time to make that thing. Maybe what I'll do is not as a sub goal, but I'll take these and flesh them out. Cause he wasn't supposed to, he was supposed to say checkmate and bang. And it goes, too much work, says Nugget. Take your shirt off like Rich. No, I want to give you guys something good. I want to give you guys something good. I don't want to just do stupid shit. I want you to feel like you're getting some money worth, you know? Abdul, you'd rather see the script. What I would suggest in that case is you can watch. In fact, you know what I'm wondering about? I don't know if this is possible with what I have access to, but if you go to YouTube and you look up the movies that we're talking about that have green screens, right? So like, let me go to YouTube real quick. What is that thing called? Twist Metal Endings Cut, I guess. Twist Metal 2012. Oh, God damn it. Cut unfinished endings. Let's see. What I'm wondering is, can you feed that into like a chat GPT, like these alt endings? And can you actually say, okay, like this one where he was going to end up fighting Sweet Chick, right? Could I feed it this and actually say, okay, make me a really cool background. Let's just try it real quick. Let's see. All right, so I go there. Let me just show you guys this. It's so much fun. It's so much fun to play with. Okay, here's Sora, which is what I use. All right. And then we say, where's that ratio? Okay. Make her standing in a menacing pose while fog Okay, so cemetery. It says make her standing in a menacing pose while fog rolls behind her against a background in a terrifying gothic cemetery. So it'll take, let's see how long it takes. Right now it's 5:23. So let's see what it does. A new Twisted Metal Velo. I mean, that's really up to Sony. I definitely now have ideas for it. But I don't think Sony is that interested, but then, you never know. You never know. But I know I spelled Gothic wrong. I don't care because it knows what I'm saying. So I stopped worrying about spelling it. Anyway, point is though, I do have an idea now for a car combat game that I'd like to be involved with in some way if the situation is right, but but it may not be called Twisted Metal Valo. Okay, let's see what this looks like. Somebody's got to try it a handful of times. So yeah, it doesn't really remove her. What I would need to do is actually have the graveyard made in the back and then just composite her because it's actually redrawing her completely. So instead, let's at least give her some more motion then. Make her swinging the bat at the camera violently and in a rage. All right, let's see what this one looks like. Well, I get, okay, I'm going to tell you something I was talking to Hector about, seriously. So Hector and I, in fact, let's look at this and I want to show you something real quick. And then I'm going to run and I'll see you tonight, hopefully on the 8 o'clock show, California time. But I want to show you this, then I want to show you what Hector and I were talking about today, who's the DM who runs the dungeon campaign we're playing right now, D&D. But let's see. I don't think you can do topless and stuff. Like Grok, it's really weird. All of these companies have very different kind of, like Grok has a wonderfully funny, not safe for work, 18 plus chat talk, but I still don't think you can draw naked people in it. Right. But it'll say some of the most vulgar shit around. So, all right, let's see if these are better. Here we go. It's pretty quick though, you guys. I mean, that's some fast shit, baby. Yeah, this is Sora. Grok, I haven't been able to make Grok work with video. Okay, there we go. That's pretty good. That's not the bat getting in the way, but let's see the other one. It seems like the first couple of seconds you have to draw her, and then now it's going to do that. Yeah, that one's not as good. All right, let's just see one thing. Let's see if he can do two characters at once. Here she is fighting Sweet Tooth. All right, let's just see what this looks like. All right, so this was them fighting at the end. Let's see. Oh shit, it's not gonna, I can do it. There we go. Make them fight violently with a foggy cemetery. Yeah, Kyler, making games in ChatGPT, I mean, they're basic. I mean, they don't have to be, but for my ability to put segments of code together, I can't be too advanced, but it's been a great experience for me. I'm glad you're enjoying it as well. All right, let's see. Come on. Come on, baby. Look at me being all bitchy, like it's taking too long. You pissed out your ass. Jesus Christ, buddy. Oh, well, yeah, because you're getting ready for your colonoscopy. I understand. Do you get down with The Who? I like The Who. I'm not, super duper into them, but I like a few of their songs. Now let's see. Slow that down. There we go. Now that kind of looks like old video game footage there, but still, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I could edit around that. Every realistic video has the same 3 ways people moving. It's noticeable. Yeah, and it'll get better. I mean, we gotta. Oh, he looks like he's got like a manga sword, like the bastard sword or something. It'll get better and better. Remember what it was like a year ago, right? Oh, you goddamn right, Rob. Goddamn right. Look at that. That's cool, man. I mean, is it just me? I love that. You can like take it into Premiere, slow it down, digitally push into things when things don't look so right, so you don't actually have to see the stuff that's broken. It has no soul. Well, you're the expert on soul, Bukkake, given how close you are to death. Listen, my delightful delinquents. Thank you guys very, very much for the support today, getting us to our sub goal. I appreciate that you like this. I'll be doing that more in the future. Not every time. I'm going to keep it fresh. But if you want to continue the discussions we're having, I will be on Tech Talk, which I hope we change the name, but we'll see. Tonight over on LolCow channel, Tech Talk, LolCow Tech Talk. That goes live at 8 o'clock California time. And I'll tweet it out and it'll be on the Discord. So hopefully we will see you guys over there. If not, I'll be back tomorrow. Be safe, be well. Don't get the flu. It's going around. Don't get the measles going around. Fuck you, Bukkake. All right. Seriously, fellas. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you soon. Bye.